When you start offering LTL services to your customers, you want to make sure you understand what goes into LTL pricing.
Our goal is to go over some of those main pricing factors. The first pricing factor we're going to discuss are LTL tariffs, which refers to the pricing structure used by less than truckload carriers to charge for shipping services.
These tariffs are based on a combination of factors such as distance, weight, dimensions, freight class, as well as accessorial charges.
Let's explore each of these. Distance is our next pricing factor. The distance that a shipment needs to travel is a crucial piece when it comes to pricing with LTL shipping.
Now, generally, the shorter the distance, the less expensive the price. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case when it comes to LTL. Certain LTL carriers only work in specific regions. If a carrier has to go outside that region to pick up your freight, then that means they have to work with another carrier. This term is called interlining. When it comes to interlining, this can alter your price as well as the time it takes to pick up and deliver your shipment.
The great thing about the Quote Factory system is not only do you have access to a host of different carriers, but you can see pricing as well as transit time. The next determining pricing factor is weight. It's essential that when you're setting up the shipment for your customer, you get an accurate total weight. This includes both packaging as well as product.
Now, some customers may just try to estimate their weight. Keep in mind that many carriers can and will reweigh your shipment and invoice based on actual weight. Also, it's a good thing to note that your pallets can weigh anywhere from an additional 25 to 50 extra pounds. Knowing this, along with making sure that your customers aren't giving you estimated weight, can help prevent additional charges later on.
The next pricing factor is dimensions. Dimensions are important when it comes to LTL shipping because carriers not only charge for weight, but also for the amount of space that the load takes up in the truck.
Now, when determining dimensions, you need to measure the length, width, and height of the shipment. This is important because just like weight, carriers can resize your shipment. So if you have product that hangs over the pallet, this needs to be accounted for as well. Next is freight class. The National Motor Freight Classification groups freight classes based on density, liability, handling, and stowability.
Freight density is the weight of a shipment relative to the volume of the load or its size. The higher the density, the lower the class.
Liability is the value of whether extra security precautions are needed to safeguard the freight against theft. It's also about the risk and impact of damage or lost shipments.
Handling refers to if the load requires special loading equipment or precautions.
And stowability is all about how the freight fits in the trailer with other freight.
Now, it's important to know that it's always best to allow the customer to provide you with the freight class.
Now, we understand that not every customer knows their freight class, and working with a system like Quote Factory can help them determine that based off of density. But it's very, very important. We always want to ask our customer for the freight class as well as the NMFC number.
Another important factor when it comes to LTL pricing are accessorials. Additional services such as liftgate, inside delivery, and notification services are all additional things that can increase the cost of your LTL shipment.
Understand that your shipment pricing only factors in door to door. Anything outside of that can cost extra. It's also important that your carrier knows about all the additional accessorials along with any additional services of your shipment before it's dispatched out for pickup.
In addition to accessorials are service levels, such as guaranteed versus standard service. Now, we've touched on these before, but we're going to dig a little deeper today.
With a standard service level, the carrier provides an estimated delivery date range based on origin and destination zip codes. In contrast, a guaranteed service level is a specific delivery date or time frame. Sometimes the carrier will have a money-back guarantee if they fail to meet the promised deadline.
Guaranteed service level is generally more expensive than standard as it provides a higher level of service and accountability. Carriers will prioritize guaranteed freight within their network, making it more likely to get there on time.
Guaranteed service levels also may come with some restrictions and requirements, such as earlier cutoff times.
One final piece worth mentioning is dynamic pricing. It's a model that some LTL carriers use to adjust pricing in real time based on a few various factors, such as demand, capacity, and fuel costs.
This can be beneficial and save your customer a lot of money, especially during low demand times. It's important to note that dynamic pricing fluctuates, so it can't be as predictable as your standard tariff pricing. We thank you for joining us. If you like this information and you haven't done so already, check out our last video, the LTL process.
Also, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.